The very first video that I put on this channel was about my fiddle yard cassettes, which I was really proud of at the time. I noticed that I never showed you how I wired them up. It's fairly simple, and it's by no means a neat job, but this is about how I did it. So let's have a look. This is the end of the track coming out of the main layout. It's not a very neat job like I said, but here we go. I stripped the sleepers off some rails and soldered those to screws. Fairly simple, it doesn't move and it's rock solid. There's then 3 wires. 1 is the return feed and 2 are the positive. They don't join, and that is how I managed to isolate the section of track that leads up to the fiddle yard. It's only joined once there's a cassette in place. So how is the cassette wired? It's really simple. There's a piece of track running down the middle of the cable trunking, which I got from B&Q. There's then 2 strips of copper tape wrapped around the edges. These are then soldered via a wire to the tracks, and that's exactly the same at both ends. The copper tape was bought on eBay, dead cheap, and it works really well. You'll see that wraps around the end and goes down to the underneath of the cable trunking. I wasn't sure this would work very well, but it's proven to be rock solid so far. This simply goes on top of the wires that we looked at earlier. When it slides into place into the clips, it completes the circuit on the positive side and it wires the negative side up to the rail. There's a good join. The trick is to keep the solder moving until you get the joins exactly lined up, and it clips into place in both sides. The clip was made by cutting a bit of the cable trunking's lid into a nice little strip and then just gluing it in place. I filed down the edge to make a bit of a curve to make it easier to place the cassette into it, and it's worked really well. The glue was a special plastic glue for this kind of job, and it's worked really well. And that's all there is to it. I hope it made sense.